Dear students, in this lecture we will discuss about the telecobalt machine. So what is a telecobalt machine? To understand this in better way, we have to know two terms, that is the EBRT and a radioactive source. So EBRT is nothing but the external beam radiation therapy, that is radiation therapy which is using a radioactive source or radiation source outside the patient. Okay, and the radioactive source, this is an element having an unstable nucleus which is emitting alpha, beta and gamma ionizing radiation to become stable. So in a telecobalt machine, that is tele means distance and cobalt, we are using cobalt as a radioisotope for radiation therapy. We can say that external beam radiation therapy with a radioactive source cobalt is a teletherapy machine. So here the question arises, what type of radiation source should be there? Okay, let's discuss the characteristics of a radioisotope in external beam radiation therapy. So it should have, first of all, it should have a very high gamma ray energy. Higher energy means highly ionizing in nature. Okay. Next, it should have a very high specific activity. Specific activity signifies the activity per unit mass. So if the specific activity is higher, lesser mass will be required for higher activity. Okay. In this way, we can reduce the size of the radioisotope. Right. Next, it should have a relatively longer half-life. If the half-life is more, then there is no need of change the source very frequently. Changing the source is a little bit difficult job. Okay. Next, it should have very large specific air karma rate constant. Air karma rate constant is a term to define the activity of a radioisotope, activity or exposure of a radioisotope of 1 curie, okay, at 1 meter per hour. Okay, so if the specific air karma rate constant is higher, that means activity will be higher. Okay, next, it should be available in larger quantities. So if we are producing the radioisotope artificially, it should be produced in sufficient amount. Okay, in this figure you can see a patient is being treated with a telecesium unit. Up to 1951 this machine was used. So there are some disadvantages of using this machine. We'll discuss. The main disadvantage of using teleradium unit is the radon gas leakage. The radioisotope is continuously emitting radon gas which is very poisonous and dangerous for human health. Okay, so you can say that this is the main reason of banning the radium radioisotope. Secondly, it is of very high cost and it is having large self absorption, that is most of the intensity is being absorbed in the source itself. Next, it is having a very low gamma ray constant. Gamma ray constant or air karma rate constant, we can say that the exposure per unit source, unit activity at 1 meter for 1 hour. Okay, so it is having very low gamma ray constant. This can be one reason to not to use the radium source. And also last but not the least is it is having very low output for the beam. In this figure you can see a telecesium unit with different types of applicators are being used. The SSD of a telecesium unit is from 20 centimeter to 40 centimeter. The disadvantage of this unit is the cesium source was not chemically stable in metallic form. Okay, and it is having very low gamma ray constant and of very low specific activity. In this table you can see the three radioisotopes, radium-226, cesium-137 and cobalt-60 are being compared for different requirement parameters, that is half-life, gamma ray energy and the air karma rate constant and the specific activity. Okay, so you can see For the second column, half-life of cobalt-60 is lesser than other two. That is radium. For radium it is 1600 years and cesium it is for 30 years. Because radium is not used for its radon hazard, and for cesium it is chemically unstable in metal form. So we are preferring cobalt-60. Next you can see the gamma ray energy which is in MeV. Radium-226 it is 0.83 MeV and cesium it is very lesser 0.66. But for cobalt-60 it is 1.17 and 1.13. So cobalt-60 is being preferred for gamma ray energy. Next we can compare the gamma ray constant. This is in Roentgen meter square per Curie per hour. So for radium and cesium it is very less, 0.825 and 0.326 respectively, but for cobalt it is little higher. It is like 4 times of cesium 137. Okay, so cobalt 60 is preferred. And lastly, the specific activity, which is in Curie per gram. The specific activity is very higher in cobalt 60, which is 200 Curie per gram, but for radium and cesium you can see it is very less. Okay, now coming to cobalt 60 teletherapy unit, it was invented by H.E. Johns in Canada in the early of 1950s. So why we are using telecobalt over telecesium and teleradium? So there are few reasons, which are some of like source related and some of machine related. So source related advantages we have already discussed. It is having very high specific activity, that is very greater output per Curie, and it is having very high average photon energy. Okay, machine related advantages are like it is requiring very less maintenance cost, less infrastructure is required, and low power demand. Okay, and for the beam parameters, for the maintenance of the beam parameters, the whatever quality assurance are needed are very simple. In this figure you can see a telecobalt unit. This is the gantry head, this is the collimator assembly, and it is the patient support system or the couch. So all three assemblies can be moved, can be rotated from 0 to 360 degree as per requirement. So these are the main components of a teletherapy machine. The first is the radioactive isotope, which you already know, that cobalt 60 isotope, and secondly the radiation source housing, which includes the beam collimator and the source movement mechanism. Okay. Thirdly, the gantry and the stand behind it. Okay, this will support the housing assembly of the system. Okay. Fourth component is the couch, which is a patient support assembly. Okay, and lastly the control console.